Howdy, cunts. Today we're talking about an overpopulated city in Asia. Now I know there's not a lot of those, but can you guess which one? Yeah, you saw the title of the video, don't pat yourself on the back. Kowloon Generic Romance is a generic romance manga set in Kowloon. But really, while this manga may seem like just a cute love quest from an absolute gem of an office lady working in the Kowloon walled city, this manga goes into some rather dark, existential and almost Lovecraftian territories. To start with, some of you may be wondering what the hell and where the hell Kowloon even is. To answer, it was an enclave city in Hong Kong during the British ownership. The enclave was eventually called Kowloon and dubbed the Walled City, as it was comprised of buildings stacked on buildings in a very tight vicinity. Tight like the homie you think might be gay, but aren't. They're just really tight. What the fuck is that joke? Anyways, the enclave was a hub of crime, gambling, and drug smuggling, but more and more social services were introduced as time went on, though at the same time the presence of the Hong Kong government was almost entirely absent. This is a community of people living together. The city was torn down in the 90s after everyone was evicted, and a memorial stands in its place, but a lot of people still have a lot of nostalgia for the city, and according to this manga, nostalgia is a form of love. The love in the manga isn't just for the MC and FemC, it's for the lives itself. Sure, life in Kowloon might suck, but it has something special about it. And just to clarify, the drugs and human trafficking that happen in the real Kowloon is almost absent from the manga. It's a lot more romanticized, but who would have guessed a romance tale is romanticized? Couldn't have been me, media literacy is dead after all. The FemC is the main focus for most of the story. Kujirai Reiko is a 32-year-old office lady who has the average worries for a woman her age. Her wrinkles, buying new and cute things, falling in love with her working partner, the fact she can't remember her past self. The MC is Kujirai's working partner, Kudo Hajime. He's brash, stubborn, and has a lot of peculiar habits, and seems to take offense to almost everything that Kujirai does, but is still sometimes oddly sweet to her. Like a himbo tsundere. Keep anime fox women away. This is where I have to say, click off the video and read the manga. It is much better to go in as blind as possible because a lot of the reveals in the story work best if you're figuring it out from the source. I ain't gonna go over the whole story, just the first volume and a little from volume 2. But seriously, volume 1 is still really good and has a really big twist in it that you need to experience for yourself. Click off now and go read the manga. See, you get the feeling pretty early on that both Kujirai and Kudo like each other, but there are just some things that Kudo puts Kujirai down for. Like, there are just some things that she does that makes him angry. Not serious things, minor things like not wearing glasses because her vision just suddenly corrected itself, going to new restaurants and buying influencer food, and buying merch relating to the imitation Earth the government is building. Don't worry about that last part though, we will talk about that later. No we won't. Kudo himself holds on to nostalgia and his habits like they're the entire world to him, and really, that's because they are. Seriously, this is the final spoiler warning. If you want to read this manga, click off the video. You won't break my heart if you do. But you will break my heart if you continue on and then try and pick up the manga and think the whole mystery is ruined for you. Seriously. As volume 1 goes on, you find out more and more about Kujirai, why her eyesight suddenly gets better, why she feels certain ways about Kudo and Kowloon itself, and why Kudo sometimes acts so cold to her and tries to keep her at arm's length. Kujirai can barely remember her past. I mean, she remembers the people around her and some of her habits, but most of everything there is just gone. The most important memory that she lost, though, and is desperately trying to remember, is being Kudo's fiancé and what happened to cause her to lose her memories and for the relationship to fall apart. This is why Kudo can flip from being so cold to her and freaking out over the tiniest things to desperately wanting to be around her. This is also why he has so many odd habits. Almost none of them are his, they all belong to the Kujirai in the past, so he picked up those habits partially to try and get Kujirai of the present to remember them and hopefully remember him, but also because, as he says many times in the story, nostalgia is a form of love. Now, you might be thinking, well, where does the dystopia come in? Does it have to do with the artificial Earth the government is building and is trying to get people to get on board with the idea of through manipulation and suggestion? Or does it have to do with the pharmaceutical company run by a man whose last name literally has snake in it that suddenly starts backing the project out of nowhere, then immediately starts offering free checkups and collects people's personal information? Nah, that's a crazy dystopia idea though. I mean, can you imagine the government and pharmaceutical companies working together to control the people and experiment on them? Crazy. That's why this manga is a dystopia. No way this could happen in real life. Ain't that crazy? So that is a very brief rundown of Kowloon generic romance. Not a review, more of a rundown to get more people to read it and talk about it. Trust me, this manga is more than worth it. If you watch the whole video, volume 1 might be spoiled for you, but don't worry, I barely even went over 10% of the manga. Read it, it's good. Thank you for watching. Do all the YouTube shit. Follow me on Shitter and re-shit cute anime girls at me. Subscribe and join my streams. I got an interesting idea for a stream coming up, so stick around for that. I'm gonna go get ready for my next video, which will probably drive me mad. Father. It's gonna be on Mad Father.